And I want to welcome everyone. We're so glad you're here. I'm Shane. This is the brilliant Dr. Steve Bodansky. We're
Ha,
in love. And today we're going to dive into this big, loaded question about unconditional love. And more importantly, does the effect, how does that affect the way we love and the way we want to be loved? And Steve is a writer, as everyone knows, or maybe is learning right now. And he wrote me this beautiful piece, this essay about love. And that's one of the reasons we're bringing this to you today. So, Steve, do you want to share that?
sure.
Okay.
I'll read the first paragraph here. We often hear about unconditional love, especially in spiritual circles. I wonder, does it really exist as a stable, eternal state, or is it more like the North Star or enlightenment, something we steer toward but rarely reach without wavering? Most of us, love includes conditions, needs, boundaries, and human flaws. Still, the more I have loved in my life, the more those conditions have softened. Perhaps that's what people mean by growing in love. Now, I was married for over 40 years with Vera, and we weren't like madly in love with each other when we first met, but we were friends. And over time, we became more and more in love. And I don't think they were conditional. I mean, I think they were conditional pretty much. And then she developed Alzheimer's, and I kind of like just said, whatever, whatever I can do for her, I'm going to do. Now, she was like wonderful in response. She was happy most of the time. She wasn't an angry person, as a lot of people with Alzheimer's get. And so it wasn't that difficult for me. Now, it was kind of unconditional, but I think that there was still those conditions. If she was like, suppose she was like really angry and was unpleasant to be around, would have I put up with that? Would I have stayed with her like that? Or would I put her you know, had somebody else taking care of her? So, so I think there are conditions for everything in general, and I think we're just human, and that's just the way it is. And we can be more unconditional. We can be more in love. We can grow our love. I think to call it unconditional is kind of a fantasy.
Perfect. Because I want to share that we work with people who are ready to stop chasing a fairy tale and this fantasy and the idea of unconditional love, love with no conditions, and really to start building real connection, whether you're looking for a partner or you want to deepen the relationship you have. I think there are fleeting moments of tiny, tiny unconditional love. Like when you
Yeah,
just,
I
so
believe.
today, I just want to share. Today, I had that moment where I just like loved you so much. I was like, and a great song came on, and my day was great. The sun was shining. I'm wearing a fun dress, and I was like, I fucking love this guy. And I posted something about that. I posted like, look at this
Right.
fucking happy guy. So like, what did that feel like? And did that feel like unconditional love?
I felt like love, and it felt beautiful and wonderful, but there's still conditions, I think, because I mean, suppose I would have said, "Ooh, I don't like this post" or something like that. It would make you feel lousy. So then you wouldn't want to do that again, probably. So I think that I
Yeah,
don't know.
but in reality, in today's post, like,
Well,
you know,
for the moment, for the moment, it felt I don't feel unconditioned, but it felt wonderful.
felt wonderful. And so, I've studied a bunch of like divine mother, divine father, like beyond this world, God, whatever you think of bigger than this world is the only love that is unconditional. Where as a human, you are approved of no matter what.
You know,
So just to bring it
I,
down to this earthly realm, I'm like, where is that term acceptable for me is like that.
right. I
So
don't
let's
agree, but
define it.
yeah,
So what is unconditional love? Like, is it even possible in human relationships? I don't think so. There's always a little bit of a condition, and I don't think we should shame that or make it wrong.
no, I think I think you'd be lying otherwise.
Great. Okay. So that's perfect because in our work with clients and also separately, helping to untangle the expectations so that people can feel an experience of love that's real, imperfect, and deeply fulfilling.
Definitely. And I'm like I say, mothers have this unconditional love for their children, but I don't know if that's true either. I mean, they may not. You may have two children, and one is like a serial murderer, and you still love them, but you probably wouldn't want to live with them if they're threatening you all the time. So that they're conditions for everything. I think.
I mean, I could go into a huge rabbit hole into this because people say, oh, parents do unconditionally love their children. But how many times have I heard parents say, clean your room or mommy's not happy? Or,
Right.
they're like, oh, my kid is. Anyway, I think if anybody says they unconditionally love anyone or a situation or anything, that there's some lack of truth, of real truth. And real truth is not always, Pollyanna, happy glory.
Yeah.
So
Well,
some myths that I found, myths that block love, are when people think like, oh, if he or she loved me unconditionally, they would never get mad at me. But so I'll just ask, what do you think of that?
um,
That's kind of a silly one.
I don't think they have anything to do with each other really. I mean, you get mad because you think you have some kind of right to something. So so when somebody betrays that right, then you get mad. So um, I, you somebody doesn't expect to be betrayed at all by their beloved. There's no way that they're going to be betrayed one way or the other. I mean, they're going to withhold something that you find out, or something's going to happen, and they will get mad, and it's okay to get mad. It's not stay mad, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's just a human response.
When I hear that, it also makes me think of like real immaturity, which has nothing to do with age. But when people are just like, if he does blank, it must mean blank. Like there's a lot of self creation versus revealing, which is something that we both really value. And it's not always pretty and it's not always easy and it's not always like complete after one conversation.
Yeah, yeah. It's good to keep those communication links open.
And they're sometimes really ugly.
Um, Not with you, never with you.
Yeah, well, they're uncomfortable as fuck, which makes me
No,
feel ugly and makes me feel like poop.
right, right.
Oh, look, you got blushed. I
Yeah,
wonder what
I was
happened.
thinking about when we talked yesterday, and you said, "Am I always complaining? I don't want to be a complainer." I said, "Well, you're complaining but not wanting to be a complainer now." So I thought that was like a funny line. I made humor out of the complaining because it wasn't bothering me when when you were doing it.
It wasn't bothering you, and I haven't been, usually when I'm in a complaining state, I'm super isolated. I'm all by myself. I don't really
Right.
want to reveal that. And so the frame of, am I doing it wrong? Am I complaining about complaining versus like, wow, what a lucky guy that you even get this side of me.
I know. I see all kinds of shames.
Right. And like Instagram doesn't see all that. YouTube doesn't see all that. I look like I got my shit together all the time.
Yeah. I feel a little turn on now. The turn on shames coming around me.
Well, that I want to say is really fun to help people with when they feel like, oh, so crunchy, so closed, so isolated. And when you can get to a little nitty gritty truth and reveal it to your partner. And when we see people doing this, beauty emerges. There's almost no words for it when you reveal to someone something that feels like the ugliest part. It's beauty gets revealed.
I think also sometimes it's good to like if you have complaints about your partner, maybe talk with your friends first. Like get a little or do like spring cleaning or whatever you call that. You know,
Yeah.
so you don't come with all this energy and anger towards them. You know, light up a little bit.
So it's interesting you say that. Like, you and I live on the West Coast and the East Coast. So when we're not physically together, I love cleaning it up a little bit before I come to you with it. But
Yeah,
when we're in the same place, it's fucking
right.
hard. It's like I
Yeah,
can't pretend, I can't isolate, or I try, and you're like, okay, what's happening with
well,
you?
yeah. I'm always looking at you.
I'm always looking at you, and I think that that is another level of intimacy, which is when you're together a lot, you can't really hide.
Yeah,
And my intention with you is not to hide. So if I am isolating on the phone, I can make it pretty
right.
hideable or just like not outright with it. But and so instead of unconditional love, I really like to think of the layers of intimate love.
I like that.
Yeah, I just made it up. Here's a really big myth that I want to talk about, and maybe this will be the only one. I'll share the third one, which is I need to love enough. I need to earn love through being perfect. That's also a pretty loaded one.
Well, I want to go back a second.
Yeah.
You said you're in the East Coast, and I'm in the West Coast. In my dream, we met in heaven together. We both
Yes.
sending metta to each other. We sang loving kindness to each other in my dream, and then we became like the same place.
Hmm.
So,
Listen, you're an amazing human. So everybody watching this might feel bad and be
well,
like, I can't be like Steve.
I'm just an average guy, I think.
Right.
Average
Super
Joe.
humble.
Average
It's a
Joe.
joke, but also you've been working with women's pleasure and relationship mentoring for 40 fucking years or more. 40? I don't know. I keep saying 40 or 50.
Yeah, 40, more like 40.
Yeah. Steve's
Uh,
really 125 years old. Look how happy we are. Okay. So the one I want to load up on and give people seeds to think about and comment if you hear this and you feel like, oh, I have to be fully healed before I can attract real love.
Want me to comment on that, or
Comment on that. Yes. Like women, okay,
I,
I'll just
I
say
don't think
women,
I don't think you'll ever be fully healed.
of course. But listen, you've been working with women for so long. And I'm sure they confide in you, they share with you. And so a lot of times women think, and just when I shared your picture today, a couple of people wrote to me and said, you give me hope. I've only been dating spiritual guys who turn out to be failures. I'm losing hope. And so it's really important that everybody really know you do not have to keep working on yourself in order to find love. You can keep working on yourself alone and with your partner. It's not like you have to get to a certain level and then you're rewarded with love.
Each person is different too. Like I said, it depends on who you are, and and who the other person is too.
Yes. But it's not like you have to like have 30 days of meditation, have a good journaling practice, have done this course and that course, and now you're ready for love.
No,
It literally is like the more fun you have, the lighter your spirit can be.
right. I want to read this part two here.
Okay.
I think if I can find it here. Oh, it's called "Keeping the Heart Open."
Ooh, good point.
One of the most mysterious and generous qualities of love is its ability to endure and to renew itself. After Vera died, I wasn't sure what would happen to the part of me that had been so deeply woven into her. She was the great love of my life, and caring for her through every phase, even the most difficult, felt like both an honor and a calling. When she passed, there was grief, of course, but also an incredible openness. I loved her so fully that my heart, instead of closing, remained wide and tender. I kept loving her, I still do. She's part of me, and I speak to her often. I really do. But love, like nature, abhors a vacuum. It doesn't just linger in memory, it looks for new ways to bloom. And that's how Shane came into my life. We met through serendipity and curiosity What began as a spark became quickly a slow burning flame. It's still burning.
Now it's a big Lag BaOmer fire.
Right.
I think this is really also important because, you know, when somebody's in a long-term love, whether the person passes away or they just end the relationship, there's like all this thought and feeling of like, oh my God, I can't do that again, or like the heart closes. But I think when you give your fullest, which you did, it doesn't just like close up shop and like you stay devout to the person that you were in love with. Now you're special. You've.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the person again, right?
I mean, always, yes, but we're just talking our own experience so people could get
Yeah.
inspired.
Yeah. But it's definitely available.
Great. I love that. Yeah. I don't want to say any absolutes, but it's definitely available and there's work to be done. So we've seen it over and over. People shift their inner narrative and their relationships change almost instantly. Now, that inner narrative really can't be done alone because when you're in the stuff that you're in, it's really hard to see other perspectives.
Yeah. I love the way that you kind of weren't jealous of Vera. You kind of like became friends with Vera. Even my dream, I had another dream. I've been dreaming a lot about you. And my dream last night, you and Vera were friends, and with our friend Lisa, the three of you were like walking together like buddies. So I thought that was kind of prophetic.
Well, also, you made it very easy to do. Um, you made it very easy to do. Is that true?
I don't know. What did I do?
Well, I mean, you gave me enough attention and love and reverence,
Right.
and you've never really, maybe just emotionally compared me to Vera, or just basically compared me to your life experience, and Vera was a big part of it.
Yeah, you're totally different people.
Totally different people.
Yeah.
Which everybody is. So like anybody who's like, "Oh, I meet guys who."
Right. That's yeah.
Well, I also think there's really something cool about that, which is if you see a pattern, that's something being revealed to you about what you're attracting. I don't know if everybody agrees with that, but I definitely see people who I date or are intimate with as a reflection that I could then work with my inner narrative on.
Yeah. Yeah, but each woman that I was close to in my life is totally different. Maybe it's different for a guy, for a woman. I don't know.
No, I think everybody should write that in the comments. Each person I have been intimate with is completely different. Like, really work with your mind on that because once our brain wants to make things familiar and comfortable, we can only make ourselves wrong. What do you think about that?
I'm watching your image on the screen is
I know. You guys, it's not, I don't want it like this. I don't know how to fix it. So,
but it's beautiful nonetheless.
oh, it's beautiful. It's like I'm like an oracle. Whoa.
Yeah, some kind of somebody in the Matrix or something. So I was distracted. I think maybe it's a good time to end here.
It's a good time to end. So if today's conversation lit something up in you, we'd love to talk more. We do couples counseling. We use the PARN method. And we work with people who are really ready to grow in love, whether that means you're attracting the right partner or deepening the relationship you are already in. So send us a message or check out whatever link you're watching this on and just send me a message. Or send Steve and I a message, and your next step could be fucking simpler than you even think.
Great.
That's perfect. I love you. Ah!
Unconditionally. Conditionally.
I love you with several conditions.
Right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.